Hey, what's up? This is Death is Not a Death Sentence coming to you on this Wednesday, um, October the 22nd, 2025. Coming to you with some motivation, some thoughts, entertainment purposes only. Anyway, I only got like a little bit of time to speak, so I'm just going to jump right into it because it's been heavily on my heart. Sorry, guys, I've been away for a couple of days, got a little busy or whatever, but I'm definitely going to do better and, start, doing it every day. And, but I've just been a little wrapped up, a little busy, but I'm gonna make sure I try my best to, bring you guys some motivational, speaking and speeches, so that way, every day someone might need this. All right, well, let's get into it. All right, I want to talk about, you know how like sometimes when you get older, or you know what, you don't even got to be older. You could just be young or old. It just really doesn't matter what age you are, right? But I would think that everyone have dreams, right? So you have dreams and that nature and everything like that. But sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes things happen, maybe a loved one passed or maybe someone, your loved one got real sick and, maybe you have to go take care of mom or dad or, a family member or your husband or wife or a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, right? Or maybe you had a sick child, you just had to stop doing it, had to put everything on hold because you had to take care of the responsibility, right? And a lot of times, you have to, you know, drop out of school or drop out of college and just really just focus on, being there for your loved one. And a lot of times dreams, they pause or they never get back. You never go back to college. You never go back to school. You never get back to what you were doing before, before all the tragedy or, obstacles happened in your life. So you tend to kind of just drown it out. And just like, like anybody else or human being, you just tend to move on and go on. And then you have yourself with these other opportunities that you took, and now you're working harder and you're doing what you need to do to pay the bills, and but you're feeling like, goodness, you know what, 10 years ago or 5 years ago, I should have just, maybe just did what I had to do and got that degree or, finished that class out or whatever, right? Or that trade out. You know, um, but I had this important thing to do. So of course you're gonna put that first before all, as you should. And I think sometimes that we forget about our dreams. I think that sometimes we forget about um just be able to just live and be happy, within. Like, yeah, you might have this job and you might have this good job, or you might have probably what you want, but however, that dream is always indebted in you because you never got the chance to live out that dream. So, it's a lot of people out there that have these incredible talents. They could sing, or, they could dance, or, or they could build anything with their hands, or they can fix anything with their hands. They could do hair so really good. They could cut hair, braid hair. They could do so many things. They can bake real good. They can cook real good. Food is phenomenal. You got all these people with these talents, and you got people out there that could clean. Oh my goodness, that could clean. They need their own janitorial service. Or whatever. People have dreams, and I'm telling you, like, there's not too there's never it's never too late unless you're gone off this earth. So, I mean, I think that, don't you want to, a lot of times we get older and we be like, you know what, we want to leave, something for the kids or something for our loved ones. We want to leave something, or we want to, make sure we left a mark here to know that we were here and we did something, right? So we just feel like, okay, well, maybe we're just too old, and we just, Why would I buy a house at 60? You know, I mean, come on. I mean, sometimes we just think like that. You know, sometimes we like, hey, like, what the heck? You know, I mean, my life is just about over anyway. So why should I turn around and go back to college or school? Or why should I go buy that home or that brand new car? I mean, why should I? I mean, I'm 70 years old. I mean, you know, I did, you know, I'm not going to be able to benefit after a while. But I think that it's not worth about, I mean, it doesn't mean anything doing like to do with you benefiting. It's just accomplishing what your dream is. And to me, it's more than any materialistic, it's more than anything in this world because, you know, that was your purpose, your own dream, right? And I think that even if no one else doesn't see your dream or does not see anything you see, that's okay because God did not give it to them. God gave it to you. God gave it to, you know, and what your dream is. And I think that you need to just stop being fearful and just say, you know what, forget it. I'm better. I'm just as good as anyone else because we have self-doubt, right? Or what if I fail? Or what if, you know, what if nobody buys anything? Or what if, you know, I just do all this and I just fail? I'll tell you like this, failure is not an option. There's no such thing as failing, okay? And the reason why I say that is because, you know, when you fail, you don't get back up, right? So failing is learning, to be honest with you. So I don't call it failing. I call it learning. You know, I call it, you know, that's just one thing then to not to do, to keep going forward to find whatever else that needs to be done. So if you try to do something and it may not work out the way you want, don't think about it as failing. Just say, okay, well, that's another way I can't do that. Well, let me try it another way. Okay, that way it didn't work out. Let me try it another way. It's all about learning on how the best way you can do it. You know, so it's not failing, it's learning. Yeah, it doesn't feel great. I will say that. It doesn't feel great, but it's all about learning and strategy. You know, okay, I know not to do that, but let me try this. Okay, I know not to do that, then try this. And a lot of times, you know, we were taught to be like, hey, listen, you know what? I'm going to have a plan B. You know, so if that don't work, then I'll just go to my plan B. But I can tell you like this. There's no plan B. If you really think about it, there's no plan B because if you're really serious, you just get another plan A. And you just keep getting another plan A. And that's just what it is. It's all about strategizing and believing in yourself. You know, yes, it gets depressing and, you know, you start to doubt and you start to be like, oh my goodness gracious, I did this, I tried this, I did everything I possibly could. And I'm still stuck. So, you know, but at the end of the day, you got to trust in God and you got to really believe in what you do and how you see, if you always think you're going to do bad, you're going to do bad. If you always think you're going to be miserable, you're going to be miserable. If you always think you're going to be lonely, you're going to be lonely. So always think positive. Always think about, you know, hey, listen, you know what? When I make this much, I'm going to get that. When I get that house, I'm going to get that house. I want this house. I want them 3 bedrooms. I'm going to have all that. Declare it. Own it. You know, don't sit there and be like, well, I think I'm going to get this. No, it's no thinking. No, you are going to get it. You are. Declare it and really declare it. Put some decree in it and just own it as yours. You know, you want to, you know, start your own business. Start your own business. Stop being doubtful. Stop being fearful. You can do it. If you want to go back to school, go back to school. You can do it. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. You can do it. And you're not a failure. Remember that. God didn't put anybody on here on this earth to say that we're failures. He put us all here for a reason. And he wants us to be the best people that we can actually be. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up, guys. And I hope I'm speaking to someone. This is death. It's not a death sentence. This has been great. I'm praying for everyone. You know, I wish everybody wish everybody a blessed day. And I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. So just tune in and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Follow me and I'll follow you back without a doubt. Okay, leave me a message. I'll leave you one back if I can. So, just God bless everyone. All right, goodbye.